What's up guys, it's that Panda Guy and I'm here again with another video, and today we're going to be looking at the survey that I got in my mail. I think we all should have gotten it if you guys want to answer this, alright? And I just thought I'd actually answer it on video just to post for no reason at all, alright? But the first one says, overall, how satisfied are you with Genesis War event? I'm pretty neutral actually. I'm sure a lot of people will say dissatisfied or very dissatisfied, but I do like the design. I do think that there's a lot of potential to the event. I even like the second round better because they had the 3-ring map, and I don't know if it's because it was 3 rings that they lowered the amount, or they opened up the amount of brackets and stuff, but it did kind of create a little bit more balance given that there were more alliances spread throughout the brackets. And it made the event more fun for me personally, and I was able to appreciate Apex with the 3-ring bracket. That being said, I will say, like, overall the event did suck in a lot of regards, like the pacing of the battles, the rewards and stuff, so I'm kind of neutral on this area. Overall, I think the event can be tweaked, and I hope they do tweak it, you know, instead of just removing it, because personally, I do think that it can be improved, and I don't want to see a good new event potentially just get tossed in the bin. Number 2, how satisfied are you with the Genesis, with the event rules for Genesis War? I actually understood the rules pretty well. Only thing that confused me, and I think it confused a lot of people, were the return things, and that's why I'm not going to answer the top one. I'm going to put satisfied. Also, I right now, with how I am with Genesis War, I just feel like my alliance is less active in Genesis War. Is it like bigger when I do this? Okay, I'm gonna do this instead. It's like me putting it on the screen. But I feel like my activity is lower with my alliance and stuff. I feel like the alliance just likes it a lot less, and I just don't want to force my alliance to compete. So I've just decided that generally I'm going to try to go in and I'm going to just be like, all right, if you guys want to fight, feel free to fight. If you guys want to save up for Archipelago Raid, save up for AR, right? And I'm probably going to go and I'm going to maybe ally with someone and just try to help on the field at best. And I probably won't play to win because I don't want to screw my alliance over in, like, you know, their overall accounts. You know, it's not worth getting zeroed there, not worth spending billions of resources, which I have done fighting in that event. So I'm generally going to tell my group they can sit out, and I'm not going to punish them for it, because we are a PvP alliance generally in Prime, and we try to show up to every fight, but I don't really want to force them and like exhaust them, you know. With the matchmaking, I've actually a pretty close matchups. I will say there were a few that, not in my I only had one that was really out of like pocket that was bad in my regard, and I had 2 that were very unfair in the enemy's regard. So to be fair, I'm actually kind of satisfied with the matchmaking. I do think that the matchmaking actually did me better than it normally does in like Archipelago Raid. I've had better matchmaking in Island Raid though than I have in AR or even in Genesis War, to be honest. But overall, I actually liked the matchmaking for me personally. Like I said, there were a few matches that didn't match up well, but I just think since the matchmaking is like random, right, for within the rings, it just doesn't seem like you're going to be getting the best matches unless you're going into losers queue as a weaker group, you know. Number 4, how satisfied are you with the alliance rewards? I am pretty dissatisfied. Actually, wait, alliance rewards, those were terrible. Oh my gosh. The advancement rewards were alright. Total win, like, well, not alright. They were like a few fragments. I just don't think they were really amazing. The individual rewards sucked. Just too hard to place. You know, you're competing with everybody in your war zone. It just doesn't make sense. I actually like the mission progress rewards. I'll put satisfied. I think they could be a little bit better, but I actually don't think they're terrible. Genesis War switches between. I like this. Okay, I like the switching between maps. The differences between maps and like the designs and the strategies that you have to implement on each map. I like that. Number 8, optional. In Genesis War, you may get super weapons when you capture science hub or defense stations. Using a super weapon will grant you a shield for 8 hours. It doesn't grant you a shield. You have to personally activate the shield, just so you guys know. What do you guys think of this feature in Genesis War? There are 5 types of super weapons, and this basically explains them all, right? So I actually have fought against, and I've used one of these weapons, which is which one is it? It's going to be the capacity. I can't find it. Where is it? Which one is it? Okay. This goes up to 90%, by the way. I'm gonna talk about this one. Okay, so like much, I feel like it's overpowered. Um, Facing a March that has what I think it gets up to 600k, right? Is pretty overpowered and unfair if you ask me. I get giving advantages to people who use both weapons, but this is crazy. I took a tower swarm personally and got slaughtered as a result. True story, guys. That 600k March cap is no joke. Actually, wait, let me see how much characters I can type. Okay, so another thing I liked. Wait. Okay, Seed of Calamity. I actually like the Seed of Calamity. Um, oh my gosh, my typing is so bad. I'm like such a fast typer though that I mess up too much. This is why like I gotta slow down. I actually like the Seed of Calamity. I think it adds a lot of strategy to like random porting around. If you do that, you're at risk because I actually had one of my accounts get and this reminds me of Rise of Kingdoms. And I never played Rise of Kingdoms, but I've watched a lot of it. But they used the Seed of Calamity on one of my accounts and anchored it down for a rally, right? And this could be good for maybe swarms. If you're fighting someone and they just had someone fighting on a tower that you're burning and they have Battle Fury, you can literally anchor their base down and get them ready for a burn. You know what I mean? And it just changes a lot of the strategy in the game, and I just like that. Um, what? How did I type this wrong? I don't even know, man. It's probably something with my grammar or capitalization, whatever. Overall, I like that. I didn't care about the frigate goddess. I didn't care about the rest of these, honestly. I felt like these were pretty mid, right? The only other one that really actually mattered was like maybe frigate goddess, and that didn't even do much, you know. All like, okay, so I will say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, guys. My typing is atrocious. Um, I will say these actually do matter. It's just like I think it's kind of like less visual, and you don't notice it as much. You know, like it's not like these are like I can't look at a March and see the 600k like March capacity like I do with like bio reinforced spine. The others do probably add a lot, like 50% AOE drop off for 10 minutes is kind of crazy. I'll actually take this back. I I don't think that they're as like overpowered though as like having that 600k capacity. You know, like that's crazy to me. Getting up to like 600k plus capacity is just mad. I don't think this was like necessary at all. And you also got to mind you, this also increases, right, as you level these up. So, you know, because it shows 30 here, but it gets all the way up to 90%. The thing is, I like the strategical advantage, right? I just don't like having something like a gap, you know? Like this makes just such a massive gap, right? It just makes the strong stronger. Just so you guys know, the reason that the people holding these are generally considered the strongest are because the super weapons make your base vulnerable, right? So if you do grab it and you're not strong enough, your base can be burnt, okay? Yeah, I'm just going to go to the next, though. Number 9. In Genesis War, Alliance officers can use tactical orders. What do you think about this feature in Genesis War? So so like the addition of tactical orders, it does add a interesting aspect to game. One thing I don't like, for one, is rally assault. Oh, no, not rally assault. Sorry. Quick counter, for example, since I feel rallies in a 1 hour fight game mode should already be 1 minute rallies. The others seem moderately useful, and honestly, I like the mission. I actually like rally assault, being able to launch 2 rallies. Some of these just looked really cool, and they were actually really useful, so I can't complain about them. To provide commanders with a faster, more exhilarating combat experience and alleviate the intensity of battles, the central area of the battlefield map in Genesis War only opens for battle at specific times. How satisfied are you with this? No. Wait. With the idea. Okay. Thing is, I actually like the idea of battling at specific times. I just think they need to do better on the timing. And I'm gonna put satisfied, but some of y'all should probably lower my thing, right? Like the satisfaction factor, because I don't know if like this will give them the idea that people like the times they've chosen, or if people just like the idea of the battling at specific times. Because I do like the idea of battling at specific times if they could change the pacing, if they maybe open towers up earlier so you could fight a little bit earlier, or just something, right? I just think how they've kind of paced it makes it so boring, and there's just too little combat and fighting in general that everybody's kind of just snoring the whole time, you know? 11. In Genesis War, the central area of the map opens for battle. Okay. Let me go back. Never mind. Okay, so here it does say the time slots, lasting for 1 hour. How satisfied are you with the battle time slots? I am dissatisfied. The time slots aren't my issue. I can wake up early for the 13 one. I can show up for the 21 one, right? I know for a lot of people, 13 and 21 are both just bad, be it working hours, sleeping, etc. So it's not a big issue for me in that regard. But in regards to I don't know. It's just not good timing, right? I just don't like it, especially for like the majority of people. I just don't think it's good for participation wise, right? Like you're not going to get a lot of exciting fights like this. Which duration are you more comfortable with in Genesis War? I prefer 3 days. I think that I don't want the thing to be too long. I like them making it lower. I will say the only reason I would maybe want it to be 5 days is because I could take advantage of the daily free healing, right? But I think it just takes too many teleports and whatnot, and I don't want to be in there for 5 days having to constantly return into a new map, wasting more teleports. I do think that either are fine, but I prefer 3 days. So how satisfied are you with the current scheduling of large-scale battlefield events between alliances? No large-scale battlefield event will be held in the game every week. The schedule in Archipelago Raid, Genesis War Battle Archipelago Raid, Genesis War Battle lasts 3 days. Genesis War... Wait, what? This is so confusing. Wait, Genesis War Battle lasts 3 days. Genesis... Oh, okay. So it's saying this is going to be how it's scheduled. So Archipelago Raid is right now. Then it's going to be Genesis War, which lasts for 3 days. Genesis War, which lasts for 5 days. Genesis War, which lasts for 3 days. And then Archipelago Raid again. And they're trying to make this, I guess, the current schedule. I am not very satisfied with this. Maybe if they change it, like I said, to the 3-day thing, it will give me a little bit of downtime to heal troops and whatnot. And one of the biggest issues with this is healing troops, right? It's super expensive, not enough, I would say, farm time. There's too much fighting. And for one, for right now, I have a 7-day hospital bill, and I'm about to go into Archipelago Raid. How does this make sense? If you're going to put me in freaking AR right after Genesis War ends, maybe clear my full hospital or clear 90% of it. You shouldn't be sending me into my next fight with a 7-day healing bill, right? Maybe send me with a 1-day healing bill. Maybe send me with less, right? It just doesn't make sense why I should be burning through all my speed ups before the fight even starts. This doesn't make sense, dude. This doesn't make sense, man. Oh my gosh. Do you have any other suggestions or feedback for Genesis War? Let us know. We will carefully consider your feedback. I don't know. I mean, change the pacing of the fights. Either make the fights longer, change the pacing in regards to rally timers, maybe even a march speed, so we can fight more in that small time slot. My freaking dog's over here like slurping on his ball. Odie, stop. He's like slurping over here, man. I don't want to hear this. And maybe open up towers earlier so we can get in a fight sooner and get set up. One of my biggest complaints are that the fights are too slow. It takes too long to get in position when you finally fight. Half the time is already used up. It doesn't make much sense. And lower the damn zombie counts in the towers and structures up mid, such as science hub and defense stations. These don't make much sense. I don't know why there's so many zombies in this stuff. It just makes it like super complicated for players, right? God, I don't know, man. I'm like, wait. Dude, I'm whatever. You guys get my point, right? And I think that's about it, right? Is that it to my submission? All right. But yeah, you guys, if you guys want to submit your own, you can look for it in your mail. They send it in the system area of mail. All right. I do appreciate you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed going through this with me. All right. And I will see you guys in the next video. And that is about it. Peace out.